Hey friends, welcome to the Creative Business Mindset. This is your backstage pass to the realities of turning your passion into profit. My name is Joké. I'll be your host. I'm a busy mom of 3, navigating the twists and turns of life and business. You'll get the good, the bad, and the glorious mess of starting afraid, the determination to keep going no matter what. Everyone knows you for that one thing. You know what I'm talking about? It's the thing that comes so naturally to you that you're happy to do it for free. That was me until I made 6 figures in my first year as a home stager. I've made so many mistakes so you don't have to. If this Nigerian girl can do it, you, my friend, can do it too. Let's go. Gone are the days when businesses and personal brands could thrive quietly behind the scenes. In today's culture, online presence is the minimum expectation. Visibility used to be a choice that was reserved for public figures and corporations that had crazy amounts of PR budgets. But now, people like me, small business owners, creatives, everyday individuals, we're all encouraged to share our stories, opinions, daily lives to stay relevant. It used to be that the only way you could get publicity was TV ad, billboards, and print media, and all those things were totally out of reach for the average business owners like myself. Now we have all been given the platform to go viral at the fraction of what it used to cost. But here is the thing. The lines between personal and professional have been blurred. So it is up to us to define what visibility means in a way that aligns with both our career goals and our peace of mind. The pressure to show up online, be authentic, and let people into every corner of your life can feel overwhelming. But on the flip side, hiding in the shadows doesn't do much for your brand either. I want to give a shout out to my amazing social media team for encouraging me to step in front of the camera and create personal video content. They've been pushing for me to embrace a more personal approach, so I decided to take a class on content creation. The central idea of the class was you don't have to create content, you are the content. Just turn the camera on yourself as you go about your daily life. It sounds very simple, but here is what I discovered. By the end of that session, as someone who values privacy, turning the camera on myself throughout my day doesn't feel authentic to me. Plus, my life is so boring, y'all. If I were to share my morning routine, waking up, working out, getting ready, just hanging out at home, it would never be as spontaneous as it sounds. I know myself. I am the kind of person that's very visual. I'm a designer, so I would feel the need to set the scene first. If we're all being honest with ourselves, no one's bed is perfectly made all the time. The house isn't always tidy. I would be mentally choreographing the whole thing, cleaning up, dressing up, putting on makeup, not so much so you look natural, arranging everything to look just right. By the time the scene is set, I would most likely be too mentally exhausted to press the record button. It starts to feel less like capturing life and more like staging a scripted reality show, which, as we all know, is anything but real. But I am committed to showing up, but only on my own terms. So how do we balance the pressure of oversharing in the name of being real versus the trap of hiding and what it costs our business? Let's get into it. So a while back, I shared a behind the scene moment from my life, and I was having a moment. It wasn't polished or curated. It was just real and very raw. I thought, hey, well, that's what people want, right? The messy, unfiltered stuff. But what I got instead were comments like, oh, you must be so overwhelmed. I hope you're okay. It looks like you need a break. Why don't you try this or that? Y'all, I was perfectly fine. I wasn't overwhelmed, crying in a corner, or even remotely upset. I was just sharing a moment. But suddenly, I started to second guess myself. Should I be more concerned? Am I too calm? Am I not handling this the right way? Here is the problem with oversharing. When you put your life out there, you're opening the door to everyone's opinion, unsolicited advice from online in-laws and unqualified therapists. And while most of it might come from a good place, it can mess with your head if you're not careful. The truth is, when people react to your story, they are most likely not seeing you. They're seeing themselves and how they would react if they were in your shoes. They project their fears and emotions onto your life. And while that might help them process something, it can leave you feeling drained and the opposite of your intended reaction. For me, the takeaway was clear. Not every moment of my life needs to be content. The in between moments, the times that I'm relaxing, unwinding, or just living, for me, those are sacred and for me to enjoy, not for the internet. Now let's flip the script. What about those of us who avoid visibility altogether? I'll admit, I used to think my work would speak for itself. I told myself I don't need to be the face of my business. The quality of my work is enough. Women, especially, we often fall into this trap because we don't want to come across as bragging or making things all about us. But the thing is, nobody is going to toot your horn. Nobody is going to sell you like you can. Visibility isn't vanity, it is strategy and a real crucial and important part of business. When I decided to show up as the face of my business, I was terrified. I had all the excuses lined up. I'm not photogenic. What if I say the wrong thing? What if people don't like me? Will they even understand my accent? And let's talk about that accent for a minute. If you've hung around me long enough, you probably noticed that I have multiple personalities when it comes to my accent. And my kids can instinctively tell who I'm talking to by the accent that I'm using. So, I am originally from Nigeria and we speak English in Nigeria. It is the lingua franca. People are surprised by this one. English is the predominant language that everybody speaks, and there are 200 something different dialects. So we have to have a common language. The lingua franca is English. And because Nigeria is a British colony, it's British English that we learned. When I'm talking business, my kids know that as well. When I'm talking to my nephews and niece in England, they know that because we have family in London, we have family in Nigeria. And just depending on who I'm talking to, my accent changes. I digress. Okay, so deep down, I knew that hiding wasn't an option with all of my limiting beliefs and all the things that I was using to hold myself back. So I started in my own way, connecting with my tribe of homestagers and real estate agents in person and offline, consistently building connections with my target audience, which is real estate agents, and the people in my line of business. It felt comfortable and authentic and a safe place to share, learn, and teach in a group of like minded people. That's how I broke that fear and just sharing my expertise and being open to learning and helping anyone who could learn from my experience. And being in those kinds of situations, the groups, don't hold back. Don't be the fly on the wall and sit there and absorb what everybody else is doing and saying without contributing. Everybody has something to contribute, even if it's your questions, because your voice gets heard, you get known. And how do you build that know, like, trust factor? Is by showing up. I will tell you that the visibility turned my brand into a story that people wanted to be a part of. When I started showing up, my business grew in ways I never imagined. People reached out not just because they liked my work, but because they felt like they knew me. That is the power of visibility. So, how do you balance showing up without oversharing or burning out? Here is a formula that I have figured out for myself that works. Number one, set boundaries. Not everything needs to be content unless it is truly authentically you of how you would normally operate. Decide upfront what is sacred to you and keep it that way. For me, my family time and personal space are non negotiable. And this is fluid. It can change and it's subject to change. If you've heard me talk about change, change is everything. But whatever that is for today, for now, you can decide what that is. So set boundaries. Number 2, focus on value. Instead of posting for the sake of posting, ask yourself, what does this add to your audience's life? Are you sharing tips, lessons, and stories that inspire and educate? Make it about them and not about you. Number 3, show up consistently. Consistency is what builds trust. Even if it's just one meaningful post per week, make it count. Even if you get one like or no likes, the analytics don't lie. I see hundreds, even thousands of watches and plays on my videos, but no corresponding number of likes and comments. You have to get used to dancing even when no one is watching or performing for an audience of one. Because if your message resonates with one person, they will pass it on and it multiplies that way. But consistency is how you build trust. That no like trust factor, the only way you can get there is if you continue to show up regardless of the result you're getting. People are watching. They may not engage, but best believe that they are watching. Number 4, lead with purpose. It always comes back to, why are you here? Whatever platform you've chosen, you need to have a purpose. Whether it's to grow your business, inspire others, share your experience, or all of it, or even something totally different. Let your why and your purpose guide what you post. Hiding might feel safe. It is also very limiting. Visibility isn't just about connecting with others, it's about building trust, creating opportunities, and showing the world what you're capable of. Here is my challenge to you. If you've been hiding, take one step towards visibility this week. Share a post that tells your story. Record a quick video sharing a tip or insight. You don't even have to show your face. You can do a voice over something you're working on. Say yes to that invitation for the local event, for the online interview, for the webinar, for the podcast interview. Say yes more often. And remember, you don't have to share everything to be seen. You just have to show up consistently, intentionally, and authentically, whatever that means to you, and deliver value to your audience. Here is the bottom line. Visibility is a tool and not a trap. When you use it on your own terms, it can be the key to growing your business, building trust, and boosting your personal brand. So whether you're stepping out from behind the scenes or pulling back from oversharing, remember this: your story matters and the world needs to hear it on your own terms. And the beauty of it is that you are in full control of how you show up. Just be true to yourself and your audience. It's a wrap. You've been listening to the Creative Business Mindset podcast. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you for listening and keep doing all the things. Until next time.